Meta is preparing to spend up to $135 billion on AI infrastructure this year. Microsoft is pouring tens of billions more into a global fleet of data centers, from massive hubs in Japan to the expansion of its largest facility in India. But at the same time, the human cost is mounting. Last week, Meta confirmed 8,000 layoffs and Microsoft launched its first ever voluntary buyout, a surgical program aimed at thousands of its most senior, experienced veterans. So how do these two things exist together? Why are companies with record profits and record investment budgets letting people go? Most reports will tell you this is just another round of corporate belt tightening or a quest for efficiency. But when you look at the timing of the data center expansions alongside the specific nature of these cuts, a different picture emerges. Let me break down what that is on this episode. Welcome to Tech Bro. Recent reports from just a few days ago confirmed that we aren't looking at a financial crisis, but a massive strategic reallocation. Take Meta as the primary example. Internal memos from last week revealed that the company is preparing to lay off roughly 8,000 employees, about 10% of its workforce, on May 20th. While they're cutting thousands of roles, Meta has warned investors that its total expenses for 2026 will actually climb, reaching as high as $169 billion. The company has been very clear that these cuts are a deliberate effort to offset the massive costs of AI infrastructure. Essentially, Meta is letting go of thousands of generalists to afford the power bills and the elite specialized talent needed for their AI roadmap. Then you have Microsoft, which is taking a first-of-its-kind approach in its 51-year history. Instead of traditional layoffs, they're offering voluntary buyouts to nearly 9,000 employees. The eligibility is based on a rule of 70, where your age plus your years of service must equal to at least 70. By targeting their most long-tenured staff, Microsoft is effectively clearing out the layer of the workforce that built its legacy software era. It allows them to shift that massive salary budget toward what the leadership calls an AI-first model. This is happening while Microsoft's quarterly infrastructure spending has hit record highs, driven by a global build-out of data centers. Even Nike has joined this wave, cutting 1,400 roles this week, primarily in their technology divisions. But look at where they aren't cutting. Nike is consolidating its tech footprint into just two strategically important hubs, their Oregon headquarters and the Nike India Technology Center. The priority is now shifted from hiring thousands of people to manage growth to investing in the infrastructure that automates it. What we're seeing is a fundamental reallocation of capital. For the first time, we're seeing capital expenditure CapEx on hardware and power outpace the growth of human operating expenses OpEx across the sector. The industry is pivoting from a model of scaling through headcount to a model of scaling through compute. So now it isn't just about efficiency. It's about a massive high-stakes infrastructure race that is forcing even the most profitable companies to rethink how much of their budget is spent on human talent versus raw processing power. If you look past the standard corporate memos, the data tells a very specific story about where the priority has shifted. While the US market is seeing a shift toward voluntary buyouts, the data coming out of India this month points toward a structural contraction in the traditional IT model. Earlier this month, reports confirmed that Oracle laid off approximately 12,000 employees in India as part of a global restructuring. This move happened despite Oracle reporting a 22% jump in revenue, suggesting the cuts are not driven by a lack of capital, but by a reallocation of it. Internally, the company stated these changes are to simplify operations as they pivot heavily toward AI infrastructure. This trend is reflected in the official Q4 FY26 earnings released just last week. Infosys reported a net profit of 8,051 crore rupees, a 21% year-on-year increase. Yet their total headcount fell by 8,440 employees in just 3 months. Similarly, TCS ended the fiscal year with a workforce that has shrunk by nearly 24,000 people compared to last year. According to the latest data from staffing firm Xfino, active tech job openings in India fell by 8% in April 2026 alone. The data shows that for the first time, the IT services segment's share in overall tech hiring has dipped below 50%. The traditional link between revenue growth and headcount growth is officially decoupling. The impact of this hardware swap isn't limited to engineering. It is climbing the ladder into the safety zones of professional services too, such as law, accounting, and consulting. The most striking example of this is the recent shift at the Big Four firms, especially EY. There's a significant discussion right now regarding a move by EY to restructure its partnership model. Now, historically, the partner designation was the ultimate goal, a guarantee of ownership and job security. But according to recent reporting from Bloomberg Tax, Firms like KPMG have already begun cutting up to 10% of their audit partners to reshape their practices for an AI-driven market. At eBuy, the shift is even more structural. The firm is pivoting away from selling human advice towards managed services, long-term contracts where they run a client's back office using their own AI agents. This changes the fundamental pyramid model of consulting. For decades, firms made money by hiring thousands of junior associates to do the research and audit grunt work, while partners manage the relationships. But if a proprietary AI model can now handle the research, the audit, and the tax filing, the need for junior associates collapses. And without thousands of juniors to manage, the traditional role of a partner becomes an expensive legacy cost. According to the BCG AI Radar 2026 report, nearly 50% of global CEOs now believe their own jobs are at risk if their AI investments don't produce a measurable ROI by the end of this year. This CEO panic is driving the urgency. If a CEO feels their position is on the line, they aren't just looking at the factory floor or the coding bay. They're looking at the highly paid partners and managing directors and asking if their designation still provides enough value to justify the cost in a world of agentic automation. We're entering a period where your designation no longer protects you. So whether you're a junior developer in Bengaluru or a partner at a Big Four firm, the metric of value is shifting from how many people you manage to how much proprietary AI intellectual property you control. Alright, enough of the alarming talk. So where does this leave us? If the headlines say layoffs, but the balance sheets say upgrade, we have to stop looking at this as a shrinking industry. It is merely refocusing. Big tech is house flipping its own capital, moving away from the high volume, repetitive tasks of the past to afford the silicon foundation of the future. The $100 billion being poured into data centers is a permanent bet on a new kind of work. As we see from the World Economic Forum, we're moving into the era of the AI orchestrator. The demand for roles in AI infrastructure, SecOps, and systems design is actually projected to grow by nearly 300% this year. So the industry isn't getting smaller, it's probably getting more complex. So the 6 a.m. layoff emails and the rule of 70 buyouts are a signal that the old normal, where you were hired for your time, is over. But in its place is a market that rewards judgment over grunt work. The money has moved and the infrastructure is being built. The question now isn't probably whether your job is at risk, but how quickly you can pivot from being a cog in the machine to being the person who architects the system. If this deep dive helped you connect the dots on where the industry is moving, please make sure to subscribe to Tech Brew with Vandana Nair. I'll see you in the next one.